Same ban again for Empire. Are we headed the same way, Purge here? Looks likely, doesn't it?
Depends on first pick. The sides
IG
have swapped.
first pick, so...
Okay.
I mean, what happened in Game 1 draft was IG now banned Monkey King, and that means Empire banned Earth Spirit. But if IG don't ban it, then probably neither gets banned, because if you're Empire, you're like, we'll only give them one if we're getting one. Yeah. If they ban one, then you ban the other.
Yeah.
It'd be a pretty good grab for Empire, though, if they can do a trade plus get a first-round pick.
Okay,
if
so they have gone for the Monkey.
So
they went Earth Spirit last time, didn't they?
Yeah,
first.
Do you get Lifestealer or Magnus? Is there another hero? Like, do you get Lina first?
I think they're happy with Magnus because you can do like the Magnus Jug.
I agree.
And they're probably better off not banning Earth Spirit this time round because then they'd get one or the other, don't they?
Yeah. See, they ban away the Magnus.
Okay.
They knew it was
so now they're going to get
best.
one or the other, which is quite good for them, I guess.
It's kind of like a swap of they take Lifesteal over Earth Spirit.
So you'd imagine then Empire go Earth Spirit straight away here.
They should do, and this is probably IG saying, why didn't we just take Lifesteal last game? We gave them Earth Spirit, we could have first staged the Lifesteal and we didn't. So they'll make sure they get the Lifesteal themselves. They can always play the Slider in the 4th position role for bo3. It's such a good combo with Lifesteal. I mean, nothing new, nothing fancy, but Slider, Lifesteal, it wins games.
So if the Earth Spirit is one of these two, which we'd assume it is, where do they go for the second one? Do they go Alina?
I'm kind of wondering if they even grab the Invoker in the first round here. It's maybe a little early, but as we just discussed, covers 90% of mid situations.
Very successful on FN in the last game.
And I feel like it'll get banned second round for sure.
Yeah. I feel like Slider Lifesteal is one of the situations you don't want Invoker, though.
And there's also the IG Nyx Assassin that is quite good against the early Invoker pickup. But I can kind of see where you're going, Kevin, just because I do feel like, it's Game 3. You want a hero that you know you're going to be successful with. And like Invoker does fit that for you. In the same way that IG are going to be very happy with their Lifestealer pickup. Lifestealer, I think, is a little bit more meta in the first pick area.
Do you think going a Spirit Invoker to start with, and they haven't anyway, so the kind of question is pointless, we're going to go Troll?
I'm kind of surprised by that just because they do have so many counters to the Lifestealer in their repertoire. Like, their whole entire... Like, what Chappie plays is like all kind of Lifestealer or Lifestealer counters.
I think it's fine for them, though. I mean, they've been drafting this pretty routinely. This still gives them the possibility of putting it in the safe lane. Doesn't have to go mid like FN has been normally playing it, but you never know. They could still go something like Sniper later. I don't know. I think it's fine. It's a decent opener. It doesn't necessarily reveal a stupid amount. It can be reliable against Lifesteal. I think. But
that's the downside to picking the Invoker earlier, is that you kind of give him IG the lay of the land, haven't you?
Yeah, they can get the hero counters that they need to actually deal with them well. They didn't have the best last game. It was pretty much what Weaver, but Invoker can deal with that pretty easily. Whereas if they go for things like Nyx, it just makes it a little harder for him to survive.
I look at Troll like the category I put Jug in, where it's like, it's going to be good. You're going to get value of this. Here's where if you pick Invoker, it could get crushed. It could be absolutely useless and terrible against a Slider Lifestealer, a potential Nyx Lifestealer opener. There's so many things you can pick to counter and play against the Invoker that it's just a very dangerous and risky pick. Troll, maybe it's not going to win you the game, but it's also not going to lose you the game.
Definitely more stable drafts this time from both teams.
Radiant team ban.
Interesting. IG go for the TA ban.
Yeah, I was about to say they've been mostly running Troll mid, so it's kind of interesting that IG are choosing to ban.
I think they're just worried about the right-click heroes that could deal with this the best. Because even though they did lose their TA game, she definitely was difficult to kill. One refraction charge will sometimes buy you enough time for kind of a Lifestealer bomb to not actually get a kill in time. So I could see it working.
Reserve time.
So probably more disable follow-up here for Empire. Ooh, the half and half.
And they could just go back for the Ghostic Centaur, but we've seen that hero get kind of ripped apart by the Slider Lifesteal. Not that there's many offliners other than like a Batten that can survive that combo.
Maybe they'll, if IG don't ban it here, the Bat Rider.
That's true. I like Bat Rider. That's been banned, I think, both Game 1 and 2 in the second stage. That's like the right kind of approach, I think, against Slider Lifesteal, saying a bit more elusive, can split push, can just find a pick very easily and quickly. Get the jump them before they jump you, really. That's the philosophy.
I don't think IG, I personally don't think that IG, we're going to pick up Lina this game. I think they really want to make sure that they have a scaling mid with this Lifestealer pickup.
I was really surprised to see it look weak for the first time. Like her right click was solid in the end of the game, but it wasn't amazing. She was having trouble killing lifestealer and other heroes.
But
yeah, she's really got to be far ahead.
We've seen that she has been effective has been in those Monkey King Lena games, isn't it?
She's definitely much more of an early to mid game dominant hero, and we have we in these professional games have not really put her to the test in her late game. But again, I think our late game is more dependent on being ahead, because you really do need to make that transition into like that fourth or fifth big item that gives you damage.
10 seconds remaining.
And Arlena was just sitting on like Chrysalis, I think, still.
5 seconds.
So Outcast gone. Relatively predictable with that.
You know, another thing I really like about the Troll is it kind of protects slightly against the Silencer pick that IG might go for. So it's a pretty fast BKB hero. Doesn't really need to cast spells to do damage. Doesn't even need to remove silence half the time to do damage. So, but maybe something IG's still thinking about.
There are a lot more mids that I'm happier with for Team Empire's like a fourth pickup than I am safe laners. Even though the fact that team, I mean that like Invoker, SF, like those kind of heroes I would still be very happy with for Team Empire, but it's like this weird contradiction because Team Empire have been running more troll mid.
Yeah.
I don't feel real good about too many safe laners.
Why not PA?
I like the Venge a lot. I was thinking about that for because they needed a saving hero against Slordar Lifestealer.
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking SD, but Venge is definitely way better. Synergizes really well. Troll, swap whoever gets jumped on.
It does. It does make the silencer a lot better for IG. Incentivizes that pick.
Helps Empire Roche as well if needed. So
5 seconds remaining.
I think in Team Empire's favor, they're like this Vengeful Spirit will serve as this great like saving mechanism, and if they do get the silencer, then we're still primarily right click focused for our team anyway. So. Like, the Vengeful Spirit is still helpful in that regard because you have this aura that it's increasing Troll's damage.
I wonder if they'll even do Venge Core, maybe.
That is also entirely possible.
Could work decent in that kind of situation, too. They can always change it up. The gank is pretty solid. Venge Earth Spirit sounds great to me.
Oh, you know what would be sick?
What?
They switched it out and they did Safe Lane Troll and they did Mid Medusa.
Let's hear that benefits decently from the battle trance.
Yeah. If only you had an Ogre instead of an Earth Spirit.
Yeah. Medusa is definitely a hero I feel like is underpicked against these Slaughter lifestealers. Outside of like Team NP, we're not seeing it much.
All right, well, there goes that idea, guys. Abort. Yeah. Coddles on the board.
yeah, that's actually... There's a lot of things that can ruin Medusa's day.
Yeah.
No, you gotta go that Lotus Orb Medusa build. That's what Envy did.
The Blade Mail Lotus Orb.
Yeah.
Man, I was casting that one. I really tried to give Envy as much like openness and ideas because occasionally he does come up with. And you could see what he was doing. You could see what he was doing. It was just
the Blade Mail seems fine. The Lotus Orb, it's expensive.
Yeah, every time I buy that, I'm like, I just spent 4,000 gold to not use this at the right time in that team fight because I'm bad. It's like, why do I always buy this item?
Are you saying Envy's bad?
No,
Kevin?
It just really fails me, and then I'm like, this is 4,000 gold.
Yeah, that and again,
they're just
Troll.
Stacking heroes that don't die to Slaughter, Lifestealer, stat-heavy heroes. Like, they just want to not die to that combo.
And you can remove off mana leak, amp damage. Solves a lot of those issues. Nobody has to buy Lotus Orb now.
There we go.
Are we really liking Team Empire's lineup again?
I'm liking it. It's kind of cool.
It's like we haven't seen, to me, like IG's mid pulls it together. Like they need some good scaling mid, but some of the better ones that we've seen for OP have been taken out.
So what do you think their mid's going to be? Something tower hitter? Well, I guess Lifestealer can do it, but I feel like something like an SF could work.
Yeah, SF. I always like SF Lifestealer with the minus armor.
I didn't ban the Terrorblade this time either.
SF is a little, like, I like the SF, but I feel like SF is also still a little, like, he's quite susceptible to Troll, I think, in that regard. That he's like,
just thinking
you need a very mobile hero.
Yeah, Cuddle Storm, they got the Cuddle, so
that's very nice.
They had weak disable on Empire, so, except for the whole Earth Spirit thing, so.
It's also a hero,
except for everything that Earth Spirit is. What an annoying 4-position hero.
A hero more associated with OP. Like, I don't think I've seen OP play SF, where I see him play the Storm quite a lot, so.
Yeah.
He's normally playing the like more magic damage mid heroes, whereas Burning will play the right clickers.
Gives a Lifestealer 2 bombs too. That part's pretty nice.
Yep.
As soon as he hits 6, they can do a quick rotation somewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say I think they really should grab the silencer if they could get it, but no. So, is there any other support that you put value on, or is there an offlaner that you put more value on? Because our Slardar can still switch between these two.
I mean,
For me, it was like silencer clearly, but yeah.
What are the offlaners? Centaur, Legion. I think Legion if it was still there, but it's banned out.
Do you feel like they should have picked that silencer up? It was an earlier call on that, and they should have picked that up in that?
I think Empire just protected their draft so much against the silencer. Like, I think that's why they opened with Troll. It was like fast BKB core. They got Venge, who could maybe do core, maybe support. Like, I think they just protected themselves the whole time. And it still would be a pain to deal with, but they could definitely work around it with the heroes they have.
I mean, in theory, IG could have gotten Silencer, Storm if they really wanted it rather than the Coddle.
Yeah.
I think they had to pick the Storm or that gets banned, but...
But then other times you're playing Silencer against Troll and you're like, why am I this hero right now? This feels so worthless.
The Coddle seems like it's going to offer more utility.
So do you pick up a... Do you want to run the Venge core, which I'm kind of feeling like is out of the meta?
So. I think you need something way better scaling.
But the funny thing is, if you run the Venge core, you would get yourself a last pick that deals better with Storm Spirit rather than a different safe laner.
Bust out the last pick anti-mage against Ladder Lifesteal. He could with swap save and shields. Like, it's not out of the question.
He's got Troll ulti to work off of.
It's not great. I wouldn't be like shocked by it.
Whoa!
Oh, hello.
That's a bit more shocking.
That is shocking.
So where has that Winter Wyvern come from?
Well, it's Venge plus Troll Warlord means they can kill each other very easily. So the Winter Wyvern ult is good. They're definitely, most of their damage right now looks to be right-click based, so they can save people.
I don't think there are too many other heroes besides like a more right-click, single target right-clickers like Weaver that Team Empire could pick up here.
Yeah.
I think that's why they banned the Slark also, because Slark would take advantage of what Wyvern brings.
And that kind of gives them that solution.
Okay.
So different type of damage. They've got 2 types of heals now between Abaddon and Necrophos. They can kill people that are low regardless of Cold Embrace. I kind of like the pick a lot.
Is it going to be at a Storm Spirit though? Are they going to be able to 5-man? They do have really good ball with Abaddon, Necrophos, Troll, but are they going to be able to break that high ground against IG with the Storm?
I feel like Empire, we haven't seen them play fast. Both game 1 and 2, IG were the team who kind of took the initiative first. Even game 2, Empire going to win, but that's through their late game play. First 15 minutes was dominated by IG, so not too confident in Empire's ability to play like the early to mid game in Death Ball, but it's still, I think, a solid draft from them.
Yeah, I actually like the draft a lot.
Any takers for Empire to win?
I'm going to go with it. I like the Necro.
Okay.
If you can press Ghost Shroud at the right time.
He won't get a chance to. Slaughter Lifesteal. Burning Lifesteal, I gotta stick with
they got
IG.
swapped to back him up.
Yeah.
So
I will also
stick
with IG. I stick with history, and I've seen what IG have done, and I've seen what Empire have done. They haven't proved to me that they can play a super fast pace, nor have most other teams at this tournament.
No,
it seems like the meta isn't played well into it.
Yeah.
You have a very minor window to work with when you're the faster team that tries to go mid-game.
All right. Great stuff as ever from our 3 panel members. We'll get more from all 3 of them after the game. It's time now to head back to our commentators. Dakota, it's all yours.
Thank you, Paul. Here with Fogg, of course, as we are courtside ready for game number 3. It all comes down to this, man. One team moves on to top 3. One team has to go down to the scary best of 1 gauntlet lower bracket. It's going to be a tough one.
Who would think we'd see Slaughter Lifesteal all 3 games?
Slaughter Lifesteal all 3 games, and then a fun little Necrophos pick for our 3rd one here. We did, of course, have an intriguing little pub yesterday with Necrophos. What do you think about his potential here? Now going to be in the competitive matchup. Do you think this is the ticket for Empire to move on against IG, or do you think that they're going to be trying something out here?
I like Empire's approach. I'm still probably going to lean on IG's lineup because Slaughter Lifestealer just is so dominant, at least in this series so far, and they've been executing it and just running just so aggressively just in that factor, and it's just so mobile. That's the thing that IG's lineup has. They're super mobile with the Slaughter, with the Storm. The Coddle's going to be able to bring them around. The Winter Wyvern, this is a Q specialty. He loves this hero. You might actually be seeing a little bit of a switch up of who's playing it, but either way, it doesn't matter. We look at so the Necrophos. So I like the way that the approach is doing because now they have, like the panel was mentioning, lots of different saves for the Slaughter Lifestealer bomb. If he does go in, if he's able to get the Ghost Shroud off, he's able to negate that. They have a lot of different heals. The swap as well, being able to save somebody. We'll see, like the sustain as well. We'll see how it ends up like working out. It's an interesting approach toward dealing with the Slaughter Lifestealer.
Yeah, I'm curious the scale availability or how well a scaling Chappie Necrophos is going to go. I'd hate for it to be too much on the shoulders of just the Troll, but you know, we'll have to see how things pan out. Towards the bottom lane they go between him and King R. Already a deep ward had been committed, and it does look like they are going to get a nice early D ward too. So good advantage for them at the start, and dual lanes seem to be the case here for IG.
I'm surprised to see that it's Baboka playing the Wyvern, not Q. Even though it's a Q specialty, they do. I mean, Q is playing the Coddle. He usually plays the 5 hero, so they want the Wyvern to be able to scale a bit more. I mean, I guess in this lineup,
we've seen like action-packed kind of Wyverns, maybe way back TI5 qualifier Navi. So Nico Wyvern fogged, like that was okay. I'll just kind of get the most out of my Arctic burns and zone back and be a bit proactive. But speaking of proactive activity, mid lane Maposhka. Unfortunately, not going to get the connection on the first rolling boulder of the game, but he is doing his best to zone back fellow Spirit OP.
Yeah, the Wyvern, like they mentioned on the panel as well, there's a lot of physical damage coming out for Empire's side, so they were going for that. And then the Necro last pick is kind of like that balance for it to just be able to kill somebody through. And the Winter's Curse also to be able to set up versus Troll. I mean, if anybody's sitting next to each other, you can blow them up almost instantly with Troll and Venge Aura coming out.
Wyvern's also typically a good Glimmer candidate, and that could be nice to have against the Necro.
A lot of different things. Glimmer candidate, he can set up for good like crush combinations as well with a nice curse.
I'm definitely intrigued to see that value begin to come to fruition.
I like that Empire adjusted as well with the Necrophos, not only for the Wyvern, but versus the Coddle. Blinding Light is immensely powerful. When you at least have like another spell damage thing on top of it, you're at least able to counter that.
And he's normally like stand, plant, and kind of fight, so even if he's hit with a mana leak, it's not like he's trying to run and chase down. He's not the fastest old guy. He's there for the long-winded fights.
Yeah, and it gives them that push potential. You know, if they do get that 5-man group lineup, if they come out of the lanes ahead and they have Necro, Abaddon, Venge, and like Troll just running at your towers, they have so much sustain. Chappie getting some pressure on the blast is a bit off the mark here, though.
That's why I love playing Coddle in the off-lane setup. I know normally we've been seeing a lot of people like keep him towards the safe lane as a babysitter, or even just straight up go greedy in the jungle, but here can obviously pressure opposing safe laners with the blast. Mana leak, if he favors getting early, could be a bit of a headache, and also he can blast down those side camps and pull aggro easy too. Here he gets a nice D ward, so vision going to be taken away from both sides down here. Good eat.
Double regen, since he only has one. Just a couple tangos. Top Ghost Stick gonna get some pressure on him. Shield is on cooldown. He is getting pressured pretty hard, but Burning is also with all those creeps on him with the Curse of Avernus. He's able to. He must back up.
Baboka shows himself with that Arctic Burn, but now I'll have to wait what feels like another eternity before he can even dish out another one.
This could be where OP goes down.
Okay, now OP hanging behind the tower quite a bit, but as you see, Earth Spirit was also flirting there a bit, but no easy opportunities on that front. Looks like he may just take his business elsewhere. Slardar down here in the bottom lane, a bit lonesome as Coddle is going to be taking his business elsewhere, would appear, or at least making some stacks on the side. So we'll see if Slardar does overextend himself down here in the bottom lane a bit and get punished. But it does look like King R is doing a nice job keeping him zoned back.
Yeah, Q's just gonna farm a bit in the jungle.
Kind of like what we saw from Faith in that one game, you know. The earlier you get your Ags, why not, right?
Doesn't want to have to be like, doesn't want to sit top, doesn't want to split tri-lane experience. He doesn't want to sit bottom to sit sap experience from the Slardar either. So jungling is perfectly fine for him here, stacking a little bit for OP and for the Slardar.
Now, the Troll Storm lane, not one we see every day, but Troll certainly having a pretty damn good start. 22 with 7 denies to the 13-1 of OP. Does this begin to change a bit, though, as the levels come online, obviously, for the Storm? We know, of course, he gets surprised ulti. He becomes damn near hard to gank, but does the 1v1 get any easier, or is this like Troll through and through?
Well, the Earth Spirit started there, so that's why he has like a bit of an advantage. So the advantage is going to have him coming out ahead. But it's like a little bit, maybe a little bit Storm favored, but you don't get vision from the axes, and Storm's at least able to push the lane in constantly, just a bit better than Troll Warlord is able to, since Troll has like a high cooldown on his ultimate, or on his nuke, while Storm can just spam a couple remnants, push it in, and go for the runes.
We saw Maboshka there able to kind of go deep and take the enemy bounty rune away. In the meantime, XXS will be able to get the creep wave under his tower to work with. As Coddle heads back to farm, they had that ward planted there, and they could rotate in for the old man right now and take him out. but they're hoping for a lead-in roll or just a lead-in easy magic missile. Wave, rolling boulder. That should be your first blood. Easy setup, and that ward will pay off. And it's going to be Empire striking first.
Good first rotation, recognizing the Kato wasn't on the map or anything, and the ward that they had down, able to see him. Easy setup for them.
Now they surround and pressure the bottom lane, and XXS could quickly find no home for himself as he rolls in. You're going to see a rotation now come out. bo3 helps out with the cold embrace. King R
blocks the way, and he puts a TP. Oh man,
face first
nice
with the tree.
There.
He can't believe it, and they're even going to commit an Arctic burn just to fly over the trees and make sure he's not there. And
that was a nice little branch play. Good thing he had a TP there. He actually had a clarity running too, so he just got it. He got just enough mana to build a TP out there.
An effort there to move in and get the grab for the Slardar. And it looks like as Storm steps off to work with the jungle, they'll hand over Q to the lane, but obviously FN going to be super satisfied with that.
Just feeling like he got punished a little bit in the laning phase, and then just the risk of being roamed on from the Earthspear and the Venge. Rather just go to the jungle, give the Coddle the lane. It's just the safer move.
Speaking of handing over lanes, it does look like Burning has had the top lane pretty much to himself. 39-11 CS, while Abaddon's been kind of working with the jungle. Not really an easy matchup to kind of, you know, go melee on melee with, so he'll find his own farm on the side, but this is a good head start for Burning.
OP now's got his level 6. Probably just going to see him go to the jungle again still anyway, but...
they have to then begin to share the top half of the map because the bottom is still being overrun by Empire members here. In fact,
they know that Empire is going for this, so they pinged them out because they saw them rotating with the ward.
Do they want to rotate anyone in? I don't think so. Get out of here!
It looks like they knew that. They were even pinging it out, like indicating that they knew that was coming. I just like they didn't probably have any TPs to be able to save him. Not expecting him to get bursted down so quickly, but Necro being 6.
bo3 has to return. He was just floating around heading to the top lane, but he might have to kind of stick down here now. This is getting a bit out of control for Empire here in the bottom half of the map. Q's going to blast his way through this mid lane as much as possible. You hear the sound of the troll farming his way through the jungle. Probably going to be handing over that mid lane, I imagine, to some sort of support, but it does look like Earth Spirit's kind of heading back to the mid lane before making a new attack elsewhere.
Under attack.
And Abaddon has been pretty much all jungle, so a total respect of passive farm, at least at the start for now. At least until the return of bo3. Here comes XXS. Ooh, magic missile to the face will stop.
Chappie getting some pressure on him though.
Man, Chappie gets hit hard. And then he gets healed up by popping off 2 spells. As a deceptive thing, and that's something like when I said, like, I don't even personally feel like I know Necrophos through and through yet, and if you don't, you get in situations like that where you're diving onto him and you think you got an easy kill, and then he pops off that ridiculous, like, decrep form and heal, and he just gets all of his life back, and suddenly you're sent back into the next dimension under a Reaper sight.
Mid lane,
deep commitment, going for the Coddle, and they connect in with Rolling Boulder with the Boulder Smash. The finish is going to be there from bo3. Rotations in, though, from IG. And it is going to be OP, able to get the snag on bo3 on the other end.
Yeah, the whole thing about like the Necro is just like he works so well with items. The items are just like amazing because like if you get a stick charge while you're ghost shotted up, it gets amplified as well. Let's say you have a mech, not sure if you'll go for it this game, but if you do have any type of extra healing factors, it just amplifies it so much that you can just turn fights into a good margin. And since they're versus the Slardar Lifestealer heavy physical damage, if he does get that ghost draft off, it completely nullifies the initiation.
Look like he win the Midas too, so it's a greedy Necro on this one.
Wants to be able to scale since they, it's a troll lineup, and he doesn't really, like, what does Necro really gain from a troll ulti? Pretty much nothing, so he wants to be able to scale into the later stages game because you already know that they're playing versus Storm, Lifestealer. Like, this game is going to definitely go to the later stages, and that's just the way the Dota is being played right now. It's not really, we have to break the high ground in 25, 30 minutes. You have to just take it later on because you have to be a bit greedy.
But if they're playing it greedy and slow, as we see a smoke now develop here from Empire, making their first attempted move all the way over to Burning, possibly, or maybe trying to catch up the Storm. Either way, I feel like that could slow down the role of Empire trying to push for objectives, which they did struggle with in the first game. Now,
as long as the supports are moving,
OP has been spotted. They'll roll right in for him. And that man has been seriously mugged, but no, he's able to get the jump and out. Not enough lockdown. Level 3, no grip leveled yet. Obviously makes it a bit more difficult there for Empire.
Yeah, I like what they're doing though. You know, they're keeping the aggression. Like you said, they don't want to get stagnant in this point where it's like, oh, we're playing greedy, we're not making stuff happen on the map. Keep these supports running around the map, keep them having everything. Even Ghostic was getting involved in that one, which was a bit surprising.
Yeah, he had been obviously far from his lane, now making a return to mostly kind of wiggling his way through the jungle and keeping off the radar. Now just get back to the opposing lane of Burning, who still kind of sits at the top, I imagine, both CS and net worth. Just kind of one of those things you know you'll eventually have to deal with. Empire will look to elsewhere, though. Blast continue to fly out as they keep Empire's mid lane push at bay a bit.
So OP's just, yeah, still just farming. Everybody's just content with still farming for a bit, waiting for those first few item timings that we tend to see. The armlet coming out for lifesteal will probably be the big one when Burning just makes that, you know, that rotation, the Burning rotation that we've been seeing every single time. TP to the bottom lane, pressure the tower. We'll see if he does it actually any second now. I think he actually might.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to the side shop, picking up the armlet at least. Yeah, actually, we tend to see him usually pressure his safe lane tower first, right? And then he makes the move to the enemy safe lane. But we'll see, maybe this rushes it.
Lead in roll. Cold Embrace going to help not get the finish there, and they couldn't get it done. It's going to be Miposhka going down first. This is an Empire lead in gank, and they can't get a grab yet. Now with the Spirit Form coming out from the Kalu, who reached level 6, he blinding lights them back, and that gank will be thwarted.
Ghostic even TP's bottom to try to help. So now this is the opportunity where Burning gets to pressure that top tower, as we were mentioning.
And delicious farm for Burning here.
It looked like he had the option there. He was like, I can TP bottom probably, and we might be able to get a follow-up kill on tower eventually, but I'd rather just get this tower. That's what Burning likes to do. He likes to claim his safe tower, then make the move to the enemy side. So I want to see that coming out any second. Now we do see Miposhka in position to try to put a little pressure, but it's a lifestealer. And it's a Burning lifestealer.
Yeah. Miposhka alone just looking to leech some XP for himself, or at least awaiting the approach from Ghostic, but even them two won't have anything to save with Burning.
Here we go.
Now Burning to the bottom lane. Here we go. That tier 1's done. Let's get the next tier 1. This is typical IG now. And the pressure on Empire to kind of, you know, expect it coming. And
the big concern is that they're closing a little bit of map control, a good amount of map control here, and this tower bottom is pretty much going to be XXS's Blink Dagger, and that's when the acceleration just happens. Blink, it's pretty much, is Empire in the right position?
Ooh.
Are
yeah, it's bad. But they get what they need. Empire have taken the opportunity, though, to kind of invade IG's territory a bit, get a couple of deep wards down.
This mirror movement that we tend to see.
Yep. But it's more like IG mirror to the bottom lane to take a tower, and Empire kind of deal with it at the top. I don't see Empire really able to kind of push on forward and easily secure the tower, though they are pressuring it now. Curious to see if IG want to do something about it or not.
XXS, I think, actually missed the last hit on the tower there. I think him and Burning were trying to go for it, so he's just shy of that Blink Dagger, but he's going to have it any moment now. Tier 1 going to drop, but IG not going to react. Yeah. They're going to play their own game. I think this is the better thing for them to do. Trade, go for that mid tower now.
Yeah, just avoiding the fight altogether and going for their own easy bread of a tower here in the mid lane.
You look at IG's lineup, they have more of like we've been seeing it like time and time again, not every single game, but the team with like the heavy initiators, the multiple forms of initiation, tends to be able to come out ahead in a lot of these fights. You look at their lineup, they have those multiple forms of initiation, while Empire, theirs is more like they just need to get this like death ball, like this like unit, rather than like going for like these solo pickoffs with like this Earth Spirit setting everything up.
But death ball and this meta, I don't know, gathering under tower really helps the armor of the opponents and stuff. Like, it's just not that kind of game anymore. But we'll see. Maybe rallying behind the power of the Necrophos, it could be good enough. We see Miposhka here avoiding some trouble in the bottom lane, able to get off a nice two-man stun and grip. Will allow him to make it away. But you can already feel IG happy to kind of push in for pickoffs where available. Straight to the Bloodstone here for OP. As he gets closer to finishing out the Soul Booster, we see FN here nearby, roaring his way up into a Yasha now.
Yep, meanwhile, our little Keeper of the Light just hiding under the radar. Nobody really knows who he's... Oh, look at this. He's halfway doing Aghanims.
That's what you do, man. Tranquils, and then, of course, you got to get all the move speed you can. A couple of TP scrolls, and then Ags. Ags wards gem.
He's going to have it very early, and that's going to increase the mobility, and it's going to increase the pressure onto Empire, too, because they're going to be able to pull the Storm to one side of the map, TP the Slardar to another, and just can't be able to make moves all over the place. And Empire's lineup is a bit their mobility is lacking because they have a Death Necro, and this is just going to be pickups that are going to happen every single time there's a ward, every single time they see these opportunities. It's going to be happening. It's a very immobile lineup that Empire kind of did draft right now.
Condolences to Mimposhka there and his family, but he is gone. Game now 3-3, but it certainly feels a bit more heavy-handed at the moment, at least for IG. After taking that sweet narrow pick, we see Empire pressuring the mid lane as much as possible.
It's like they picked this Wyvern, it seems like, for the obviously for the troll and everything for the physical damage, but also defend the tier 1s. Just defend tier 1s. If we're able to do that and we get map control across the board, that's when the Storm, the Lifestealer, the Slaughter just can go running around every single time and find these pickups, because you force a lane in, somebody's going to get caught every single time you force those lanes in from IG.
And Empire just have to be at risk of watching their positioning. You'd hate for that Wyvern to be using Troll as his greatest weapon against you. So they do split apart and look to attend to mid lane.
And he's going for the Solar Crest build, which we have been seeing much more common on the Wyvern. We did see it used to get picked up, and then it got rebuffed. So now it's going to be picked up, and they're dire, and they have Slaughter, so it all synergizes really well, and especially with the Winter's Curse. If you Solar Crest somebody in the middle of a Winter's Curse, their allies are pretty much going to kill them very quickly.
Nice build up here for IG. Empire continuing to grind away in the farm, but they continue to get hit here. A jump in now, looking for Chappie. Toss out the Decrep. Here comes assistant Ghostchick trying to be the paramedic, but he's not going to be able to assist him. Chappie going down. A hard hit for Empire here, as not even their own jungle is feeling safe. That's going to out possible wards. They're going to have to get in there and try to debunk the vision, but there actually is no vision there for IG. They're just happy to cross the river and keep tabs.
It's them making all the aggressive moves. Empire can't really make it. Speaking of aggression, Empire now goes for one of their first moves.
Let's see how it goes. Swap back to set up a magic missile. Can they finally bring down the Wyvern? Yes, they can. It takes 3 of them and a lot of skill power, but they will finally get him down. And now looking for a follow-up on the tier 1, but he's one of the best tower defenders in the game. Blinding Light fends him off. A blast takes out the wave.
Wyvern's going to be up soon too. The Blink Slaughter with an Infest. Storm Spirit already has his Bloodstone. They have Desolator online. This could be very scary right now for Empire. And yeah, before it even happens, they have to split up again. And now this is where it's going to be IG coming at him again. The mobility that we're talking about. Empire's forced to kind of move around the map, and that's when they're just open to getting ganked. It's just going to happen. One of them is going to get picked off here. And here we go. Coming in, it's going to be Mimposhka. Just get brought down in an instant. They're going for 2, though. King R going into OP with the Bloodstone, leading up the charge.
Empire want to try to fight this one off, but they've already been hit so hard. That side not going to do so much.
Oh, my God.
FN just shreds right through the Necrophos. Oh, my. Q happy about that one. Ghostchick forced back. IG.
That's a
fight.
Was that a Baboka? That was Baboka's solo kill, right? With the curse on the.
Yep.
With the amplified, with the corrosive haze on top of a medallion. Necro just gets destroyed by FN.
FN's like, I can't stand near anyone on my team, or I may be at risk of taking them out. With that kind of power.
The mobility just every single time.
Yep.
Empire's going to split up. IG's going to get a catch or 2.
I mean, that was just Empire denying the tower and hoping that they were going to walk away from the lane.
Yep.
But the chase from IG is just out of control here.
And those were Bloodstone charges. So that's 2 Bloodstone charges going for OP.
Ooh. All right. IG, you got to be feeling pretty good. Back to the lanes and farm they go, claiming another couple of lives. Empire hanging, though, with the farm. You know, Troll works his way from camp to camp. And keeps them at the top here for now, but just Empire as a whole don't nearly bring as much fighting power at the moment. Necrov is a great hero, but really does depend on those items and depends on that build-up, and we've seen him go down twice straight.
He's so immobile,
He's just going to be prolonged
really
that much further. Yeah, he needs to have a bad near him. He needs to have that swap nearby to bail him out.
He went for like an early Blink Dagger build, which is, I mean, I feel like he kind of needs it in this game, but just unable to really be able to get around the map just because of how much faster IG is with their heroes. IG, again, forcing engagement. They try to force something on the Abaddon. He pops his ult. 3 TP reaction from Empire. IG just runs away and resets it.
Just manipulating Empire in this game. And Empire, unfortunately, looking closer to game number 1 than what we saw from them in the previous, where they were able to kind of dictate things from here moving forward. They smoke, though, and they might actually catch some IG members in the river. Nice quick grip. Swap back. They will give a forgiving pick on XXS here.
Yeah, nice little kill. They might be able to actually go for the Roche here. They do have the Terror on cooldown here, and there is going to be Blinding Lights and Kato Blast and Wyvern coming in. Let's see if IG is able to make it in time. It looks like they should be able to. They've got Aghanims. It's daytime as well. This could be a disaster for Empire.
Already bumps FN out of the pit. That means Ghostchick has to solo the Roche for now. FN, does he really want to waddle back in there? He does. A new blast is going out. He's trying to go for the finish. They hit him with a mana leak. A new blast flies through. He just pops to borrow time. They give him a new shield. They're looking to go for the finish. He pops out the ulti. He's looking to burst him down. Can he get it done? They blast him back.
Burning gets the Aegis, and he gets the last hit.
Sneaks in and gets the last hit and the extra life. Look at Chappie. He's stuck on the high ground.
Blinding Lighted on the high ground, I believe.
And OP goes in right up there to get the finish. IG all day here.
I don't think that they can go for that move. When you're playing versus Kato, Kato just got his Aghanims. It's daytime. That's like IG's move to just go in. Burning even gets the last hit on the Roche, gets the Aegis as well. Oh, man.
That wonderful timing. I mean, obviously most attention to that Blinding Light was to bump him back as the Roche died, but the convenience of happening to bump what looked like the Necrophos to the high ground, making that Ags feel so clutch already.
That was a sick play by Q. It looked like that one was almost planned to push him up there even. We're going to catch a glance on this on the red side. I'm going to be taking a look at Chappie. Let's see Q's positioning.
But look, as he bumps back everyone from inside the pit, it also
was like a double. Oh my goodness, that Blinding Light. Not only securing Burning the and just throwing Chappie on the high ground, just stuck up there. Oh my God. That is the most fortunate Blinding Light ever, I'm pretty sure.
I think even Ake liked that one. Here, though, Empire, I mean, the way they just had to throw themselves into the pit, do you think that for them to even keep afloat in this game, they had to go in there and make that decision? I felt like after they were bumped out the first time, you may be like, okay, well, we can't really do this. But the way they were just so persistent, they make it feel like they just need it. But maybe inside their booth, they feel like that's what they needed to do. But now they're, I feel like even a bigger deficit than they were at any point in this game.
Yeah, they didn't, to be fair, they didn't see the Coddle Ags until, you know, like almost last minute. But then FN ran in and committed, you know, he went for the full committed. So they felt that, you know, they feel the pressure. They're like, we need an Aegis. We need something to deal with this Slaughter Lifestealer. We just not able, like the Venge isn't able to swap people in time. It's just the mobility from IG, again, over and over again.
Here comes IG with the benefit of the extra life, bringing the pressure, top lane Ori pressure towards the tier 2. They get the mid lane nice and deep. They're going to sap and take away all that sweet, delicious farm in the nearby Empire jungle. And Empire now going to be quite restricted here. They have one offensive ward out there, but they're going to be a bit in the dark as far as what's happening on their own home turf. So if they're looking to get out there, they may do it under the guise of a smoke setup play. We'll have to see.
It has to be a smoke. There's already a ward set up there. See if they're even wanting to contest this bottom tower. I don't think so.
Yeah, they're moving through the outskirts, but even IG could rotate up north there and just have a better high ground positioning near their shrine. But Chappie's like, oh, the Ancients are down. Blinks to the low ground to rendezvous with the rest of his team, but they just seem a bit lost in the world at the moment.
The net worth still seems to be like relatively close. I know the Slaughter and the Coddle are pulling a bit far to their head, so it's probably like 7,000 or so leading for IG, but it's still like not that horrible for Empire. They're just not able to find their group of like 5 able to fight properly. Just IG always like manipulating the fight much better than them.
I mean, you lead in, you get a decent lengthy stun with a boulder smash and a magic missile on top. This troll could burst his way through maybe anyone in front of him. Yeah. But it is that support staff of IG you have to look out for. A quick Wyvern, a quick Crush.
Not even a 7K gold lead. It's only about 5,000 going for IG. So that's, you know, they still have a lot of potential gold coming out from Empire if they're able to grab some of these towers. But IG just always constantly on the aggression.
I don't know. I mean, now I'm looking at it. I'm seeing a Coddle slowly raise a net worth even above ahead of the opposing offlaners.
Oh, scan coming out. They do miss on the crush for FN, but here we go. Burning's in.
He thinks he's banding up against the Slardar, but then Burning pops out and suddenly FN just goes full man mode and just wipes out his extra life. But then OP steps in to make it a more fair fight, and he quickly gets a hold of FN and just takes him right out of the picture. A double kill for OP. FN felt good at the start of that one, but then the posse of IG showed up.
I really like the way that XXX played that. He was like, he could have just stunned and like kind of ran in and kept like man fighting the troll, but they would have turned on him and killed him.
Yep.
Rather than that, he's like, yeah, Burning has Aegis, whatever. Burning can die here, it's okay. Coddle's gonna recall the Storm in, and then that mobility that we're talking about. Even though Empire are able to get a little bit on the aggression there, it's a reaction.
Yep. IG just reading the map, reading these fights so well. And back to the drawing board here if you're Empire now. These cores really Grasping at straws for items. We see Necrophos, she's got the Blink Midas, and now Ag's done. If he's able to get a hold of him, they could burst enough with the power of the Troll. They could send someone out of the game for quite a while, but getting a hold of him is going to be tricky. We already have acknowledged the tremendous amount of sustain and mobility that IG have here.
And they're getting to their very peak timings now. Orchid coming out for the Storm. He's got 17 Bloodstone charges, and he's level 18. So this could be a play now coming on to FN. We hear the recall coming out.
Yep. Looks like he pulls XSS and Burning to the top lane here.
It's daytime as well. They have vision of FN and King R and Ghostic. They even, I think they may have, no, the smoke actually came out right afterwards, but they did see 3 or 4 heroes in position, so they should be aware that a move might be happening here. Rolling in.
It's going to be Miposhka looking to cut someone off. They've spotted Q. He gets off the Glimmer Cape, and they're just going to have to let the old man go down. IG thought about stepping in, but there's just a lot of Empire members here, and they'll have to step off and just kind of hand the jungle over to them.
I think they're all right. They're okay with this. It's, you know, it's the Coddle that died, so it's like, didn't really want to lose him, but they commit 5 heroes for that of smoke and everything. Now we're able just to push out the side lanes, and the same thing. Mobility from IG. They can even go up there and maybe even try to defend if they want to with the Coddle and the Wyvern, but still got to wait a little bit for Keep the Light to respawn. I guess that, they don't even want to bother risking going for that defense at the top. They're just expecting that Empire with that Coddle kill, they're going to walk through the jungle, they're going to set some wards up. They don't want to risk giving up any unnecessary kills.
Yeah, IG can just kind of mirror that, work through the Empire jungle, plant their own wards, and take all that farm away themselves. Kind of accepting the fact that they'll just lose a little bit of objective damage there. But
good to see that Empire can still bring that aggression though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Even though that they're so behind, you see them push because trying to force something to happen in some situations.
Yeah, I mean, if Empire were not able to even get that gank and the Coddle somehow made it away, I mean, I'd feel really low here for Empire, but they pose a threat, and IG do still respect it. And here they look to come back and claim their own jungle. You'll see the same thing happen here for IG. Has IG been able to pick up a gem yet? I'd imagine it's going to be something coming online soon enough when you already have that Agnum's Coddle. But he did go down recently, so it looks like they're going to hold it off for now. IG instead go back on the move. They get a smoke. They head down mid lane. We got backpack burning here for XXS as he just beelines it. Now he gets off a nice boulder smash, but he ends up rolling right into him. So, of course, he gets taken down immediately thereafter.
That day vision.
Yep. Unobstructed day vision from the Coddle means walking map hack nearly.
So they've got about a minute if they want to try to claim for this top tier 2. They should be able to. And we will probably see, like you mentioned, that gem being picked up for them quite shortly.
They drop a ward down, but it was under the watchful eye of Empire. It looks like they didn't bother checking or scouting out the high ground ward there, so Empire at least will get that bit of know-how. But at least till the near future, it is going to be IG pressuring. It's time to go in and finish out the final remaining tier 2, and then we're getting closer to Roche time for IG.
IG doesn't look like we see some pings coming out. It looked like some IG pings on that mid tower, so they do want to defend this one.
Oh, you're
now
right.
setting up
to the shrine and to the tier 1. But Boca will slow down the wave himself first, but Empire won't stay.
Not wanting to give up anything at all. No map control that they want to give away for free.
Still
FN getting close to that BKB at least, so he'll have one tool to be able to actually deal damage in the fights instead of just getting mana leaked or blinding light and getting bursted down. But oh, I like this pickup from Burning next that he's going for. Diffusal? Since he's playing for this versus the Necro, he's going for the Diffusal so he can purge off the Ghost Shroud. Yeah,
that is vicious.
I think it's a very necessary item pickup.
Yep. Here, Empire will be able to kind of fend back off. Still unable to even get that mid-tier 1 down. It's been a very tough series for Empire to kind of take early game objectives. It just looks like effortless for a team like IG, and it always feels like a struggle for a team like Empire, but...
Yeah, it's like IG's always just a couple seconds ahead of it when they were going for those tower sieges as well. It's like they don't have that hesitation, it seems, where it's like some teams it's like, oh, we like they already started running back to kind of farm, and then it's like, oh wait, this guy's dead, we should be hitting the tower, or oh, we see the slaughter bottom, we should be hitting the tower.
Yeah.
IG's had no hesitation whatsoever when they go for those type of tower sieges.
Could be into who's calling the shots. One team has a support who's able to keep their eyes on the map that much easier to scout out things like that. Whereas for other teams, maybe you have a core shot caller where they're kind of busy, obligated with their farms. They're itemizing, they don't really quite see the map as easy. Scan out on the Roche pit here, it looked like from Empire. Did get a bit of a read.
All right, Burning decides the Basher into the Abyssal Blade is probably going to be a little bit more important. He still has the Robe of the Magi, but he decided to just buy a full Basher for now. So he can, that's more so he can man-fight the Troll. Diffusal so he can kill the Necro, Basher so he can man-fight Troll. And I think the Necro is less of an issue right now compared to the Troll, as we saw before.
When Burning lost that Aegis, it was like, he's like, I can't do anything. Here though, Empire though.
Solar Crest online for Abaddon, Lotus Orb as well. So now he's going to have tools to remove not only the Mana Leak from himself and have the shield for somebody else, or vice versa, but also to remove the Orchid that they saw picked up by the Storm, which is very important.
Empire, they could consider round number 2 inside the pit. First round didn't go so well for him.
It's not quite daytime just yet. Coddle does have a gem on him, but about 2 minutes until day.
Scan was dished out there. They begin creeping in. Roche to just below half of his life. There goes Troll looking to commit the call. Are we going to see a fly-in? There goes the blast, lead and crush. OP not going to go inside the pit yet, but they are going to be able to blast them back and away. Will IG stay and fight, or will they turn and run? Lockdown on the Slardar, not quite enough to go for the finish. Burning pops out, looks to isolate the Wyvern ulti, will help get the finish. Now he goes for the next target. Unstoppable for OP as he finishes off another. Now has no more mana to work with. A chomp of the cheese, and Empire step away here. They take their Roche and they get to hold on.
They don't look like they're done.
Oh no! IG continue to chase. Get a wonderful crush and now look to go for Ghostic, who has to turn their attention away from the rest of Empire.
Oh, he gets his Midas up before he dies.
Ah, the
That's
value.
what the I was like, I thought
That's
like,
the win.
Maybe he's going to try to go for nope, Midas is up. Got to get that Midas up before you die.
He still doesn't have dieback, or buyback rather, but here come IG now. Thinking about a push into the high ground, or hoping to force out a buyback if the one was available here. A swap is forced out, but now Burning looking to move in. They blind land him back and they get the finish. Q gone, 2 down from Empire here. And what could be for the final hurrah of the upper bracket? They get the silence grip, but the cold embrace. They keep an OP alive, man. They can't get him down. He's able to run back out and step away from trouble. Empire can't even get the one forgiving pick off.
Oh my, and he's so low on life, he's going to TP back home. He can even get recalled if needed.
Yep.
And it looks like they're looking to keep this kind of aggression going. No fear from coming out from IG though. The Roche was cleaned up and they just go straight in again anyway.
Yep.
Just that, I mean, that mobility, it's pretty hard for them to really catch the Storm now with the amount of mana he has. Sure, they have like the lockdown from the Earth Spirit and it's, I mean, the Venge, which is okay. It's not really, you know, not really the best versus Storm Spirit. And once he has this much mana, he's able to just like ping pong back and forth.
Yep.
And when this is, whereas there's this Lifestealer who's just chomping down your cores so fast, it's like, oh man. You have to make the decision of who you want to save and who you want to just let go.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that most supports are using all those great lockdown spells for more defensive measures just to save their cores in the trouble. That means that the Storm is even more free to go crazy or make it out from trouble, as seen there. But IG not looking to let up, regardless if this Troll has the extra life. They feel there's blood in the water, and they want to go for the finish. Do they jump to the high ground? They do! Beautiful two-man catch right there from IG! And they're going to look to go for a third. Gosha gets up to borrow time, but they are slowly looking to walk him home. But Poshka tries to help him out with the stun, but now they set him up as a sweet treat for later as they move in for the icy dessert. They get it done. IG, a recipe of disaster here for Empire. Did they have the vision? They had that deep ward still, and they committed right into the high ground and got that beautiful setup from XXS. This guy is just so wonderful on these initiating offlaners, man.
The deep ward and then the Coddle Day Vision just catching a glimpse of him too. XX gets a nice two-man crush with the bench standing right next to him too, so they can't even try to save the Necro. Necro just gets brought down instantly. This Slardar Lifestealer combo is looking to be just way too powerful.
Forced in! XXS gets the crush. This kid is styling on him. Now they'll finally have to burn through the Aegis and some buybacks. This is a hard hit to the piggy bank for Empire, and IG recognize that. They just pull away knowing they're winning.
The aggressive force stabs. Always good to see people doing that. Does force the Aegis out, forces a buyback as well, yeah. Everything that you really want coming out for IG right now. Last few items going to be being picked up soon. BKB coming out for OP in a few minutes. 26 Bloodstone charges, 0 deaths on Storm.
Hell of a Storm game right now.
And they like kind of, I mean, pseudo dual laned him a bit in the early game too. He just resorted to the jungle, and then since then he's had very good positioning in the team fights and recognizing when he can and cannot just overcommit. Like that base was, you could say that was like a bit of an overcommit. He had like 200 HP, but just enough mana after the chakra to be able to get out.
not a lot of answers for Empire to stop the blue man.
Yeah, it seems like us in the panel were talking about, the Venge pickup was nice because they'd be able to do that like kind of counter-initiate thing where like this guy was getting focused to get swapped out, but we're not able to see that because it's like they're not able to get in the position. And again, it just comes down to, I mean, I'm just beating it to death, but the mobility. Mobility
is key. And vision. Worked out so well for IG in this one. Getting that early ags, getting some great wards down. Early mana leak, bump back. Nice Lotus to remove it. Long jump in. And it's a spirit on spirit hate crime here. As Storm takes out Earth, trying to push out simply in the bottom lane. Earth knows that he has a buyback for any potential defense. He's just trying to give some breathing room here to Empire for what could be soon the final hurrah of their upper bracket run if they can't defend it here. Looking to stay alive, but they slide on in, looking to go for the Necro. A long swap save does come out, but they will get the quick burst finish onto Q. The buyback going to be forced there. Troll looking to move in, isolates, targets down, burn it, getting jump them down, they can! With the help of the Scythe, they will get it done. They will get their own fire back though, finishing off the secondary support, but credit to Empire taking out the big meaty target and burning on that push.
Perfect timing by FN's BKB there. So he wasn't able to get like pulled into the Winter's Curse. He's able to just focus down burning and get brought down. Those bashes.
More time on the clock for Empire now.
Also, it's a shame that you guys can't see Dakota right now because he was troll right now. He was literally beating the crap out of the desk.
He only gives us one monitor and no computer. That's all. I have to charade it or something. IG recognizing and respecting Empire on their defense. Know that they'll have to wait a little bit longer before they'll be able to close this one out. 36 minutes in, 21-8 feels like a pretty heavy-handed advantage, but look at the credit to FN. Still holds highest net worth in the game. Overall, though, as you can see, wow, it is all IG on this one. 20K XP, 15K net worth.
The big pain for Empire is, I'm just like glancing at these two little supports at the bottom of the net worth. 1,700 for Arvenge and 2,700 for poor Mapushka, having just much rougher game than his other Spirit performance.
Yeah, that's normally me in the pubs. Down there in the depths. Someone's got to do it, though. That clutch save kept Necro alive, kept Empire kicking.
Yeah, that time we saw it, finally. We're like, nice, the Venge actually gets the swap off, and we just mentioned it. It's perfect.
Okay, though, it looks like IG ready to go back in. Round number 2, possibly. As the mid lane is getting forced on in. Credits. So you see the support staff of IG holding strong. Devastation of that Wyvern ult set up appropriately.
Yeah, it's scary. Empire has to really watch their positioning.
Empire creeping out, though. Recognizing IG have made the sweep down to the bottom half of the lane. They take this quick window of time to try to move up, de-ward, ward down, do whatever they can. Warding up the high ground again, but IG's deeper ward scouts him. And look at Q, old man Q, he's like, I'll lead off the charge. Moves in, tries to go for a D-ward, but that's when Chappie jumps in. That's when OP jumps to the back lines. Moves in, gets the quick finish, taking out the Earth Spirit. Now he could be focused. He pops his BKB and steps back, but they find a swap target.
Nice blinding light.
For bo3. They separate with the blinding light, and that's when they initiate. Looking to go for FN, and they get it with the burning bomb. Troll goes down. Follow-up's going to be there for Chappie, and they have no Troll or Chappie buyback. This looks to be it, and it is over. Empire to the lower bracket. IG managed to get it in game number 3. 30
Bloodstone charges. OP just going out of control in this game.
Damn.
Let's let them hear that. I hope that's picking up for you guys right now.
Everyone going crazy in the house right now for IG. Credit to Empire. They give him a strong fight. They'd make him go to a game 3, but that one pretty convincing. IG taking advantage of all the tools in their arsenal and their draft. But what would you say, man? The big